Today I decided to try and give myself a little bit of a challenge. I'm out in the middle of the day in bright sunlight. It's September, but the weather is still summer-like, at least to me. I want to try and see if I can photograph some old sort of traditional Chinese architecture, even in bright sunlight. I usually prefer taking photos in the morning or in the late afternoon, in the evening. This time I tried to challenge myself to see if I can do it in full daytime. I'm at the Great Hall of the People, located in iChongqing district. Sun is wearing down. I'm sitting under a tree trying to get as much cover as I can because, as you can see, my brain doesn't have a lot of protection, so I will need to try and stick to the shadows as much as possible. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you don't know me, my name is Mikkel and I am a photographer, videographer and freelance journalist based here in Chongqing, China. I'm out today, as I mentioned earlier, trying to photograph the Great Hall of the People. I'm coming up on it now. I'll turn around in a second so you can see it. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm trying to do a bit of a challenge for myself today because normally I'd be photographing something like this either during the morning or the evening time. But I wanted to try and do something where I could try and get, the really bright blue sky in the frame as well. And so I'm out in the middle of the day. It's hard to see in the video. The sky is blue. There are a little bit of clouds scattered around. This is the building that I'll be photographing today, or trying to photograph today. I don't know if I'm going to succeed. I have photographed this place a couple of times before. Once for the Two Sessions meeting, which was a big sort of political event, and other times just for my own sort of personal pleasure. It's a very important building. It's deeply rooted in the history of the city. And every time you have big government meetings and such, it all takes place in here. As I came into the square earlier, off to the side, there is, I guess you could call it a park within a square, or just skirting the square on the outside. There's this big green area with lots of trees and lots of seats. There's always a lot of people sitting here drinking tea, playing games, just having a good time. I think I mentioned it in one of my vlogs earlier, how the locals seem to be really good at just enjoying very, very simple pleasures. Just being out fishing by the stream or just taking a walk outside. Playing badminton just on the side of the street without nets or anything. They don't need it. They just want to hit the ball a couple of times and that's it. Now normally I wouldn't be the first person to walk up and start photographing people that I don't know just on the street. So I'm going to try first and see if I can get a couple of photos of these people enjoying themselves in the park, playing their games, playing their cards from a distance because I don't want to get up too close and be disturbing. Thankfully, whenever I go outside, I bring this baby. This is my 70 to 200 millimeter Canon EF lens. So where I'm standing now is next to the park where all these elderly people are sitting and playing. They're playing in the area here off to the side. So I'm going to try and shoot in through the trees and just sort of putting the plants and stuff in the foreground, using that to frame the pictures that I'm taking. This is easier said than done, because normally I would be photographing buildings and architecture and landscapes which don't move, and so you can just move around freely and focus on that. But here, with people and faces, stuff moving around, it's an entirely different story. Start by photographing the building from here. The reason why I want to do it from here is because I'm far enough away that I can get almost all the building in the frame at the same time, but I have to use the lens that is on this camera at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag this around a little bit and show you. As you can see, other photographers are here doing a similar thing to what I'm doing, although they're photographing the museum right at this moment. Gonna twist this around and point it up a little bit. So I'm small down here in the corner at the moment. So from this angle, from this distance, you can sort of see the whole building up the background here. That's what I'm just gonna try and get. I wanna try and get the whole building in a single shot. So I'm gonna take this lens off the camera, put it on the other one, and get going. Actually, no, I might start by just using the zoom in lens first and then get some detail shots from this distance, and then I'll switch the lens and do that afterwards. Go inside the Grand Hall as well and get a tour inside. I have been inside once for the Two Sessions meeting a couple of years ago. Big, grand building, like massive. So what I'm gonna do now, I've gotten the detail shots and the close-ups that I wanted. You can move up a little bit around the building and stuff. I'm not gonna worry too much about that because I tend to photograph these buildings better from a distance anyway. So what I will do now is I'm gonna start walking back towards the museum and get on that platform I showed you before. Get the last couple of photos in there, so let's go. The top of this platform outside of the museum overlooking the square. Again, start with the zoom lens and try and get some detail shots. It's hard because I'm so far away at this point, but the height is just perfect that I can now photograph both the gate and the building itself in the background. And the sun is slowly starting to come down behind me, which is excellent. So that direction faces east, which means that the sun's actually setting on the other side, which means that you can photograph this from here as the sun sets and it starts lighting up and getting this nice sort of golden color, especially in the evening. That's pretty much it. I have done sort of the rounds of the places that I know I wanted to photograph when it came to photographing this exact location. Let me try and step in here. Nope, my head is still out in the sky, so we'll just do it like this. I've sort of covered the areas that I knew I wanted to photograph. I have certain positions that I usually go to whenever I want to photograph. This is my 4th or 5th time that I'm here. So I'm pretty sure I've gotten the photos that I need now. Now it's just to go home and edit, and I will show you the finished photos throughout this video as I've taken them. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Many more videos to come, many more places that I'm going to be going to. And if there are any places that you would like for me to go and explore and try to photograph, let me know down in the comments and I'll make sure I check that out as well. So yeah, we're gonna grab a few more shots because it's better to be safe than sorry. I'll see you in the next one.